I know, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while since you've seen my face. I don't know if this will be a permanent thing. The recorder that I used to record videos now, for some reason, I can't explain what happened. I think it crashed or corrupted, and I could no longer save videos. It was weird. For those who use X Recorder and have had that issue happen to them, like if you guys are aware, if you look at the corner of the videos that I've done, you'd see the word X Recorder. So you would know that I use something called X Recorder to record videos. But yeah, so for those who actually use that app and have ever experienced that weird situation, let me know how to fix it, because I'm genuinely bummed out that it doesn't work anymore, because I had another video planned and then I tried to make it, and then all of a sudden I got told the app for some reason wouldn't let me save it. So I don't know why. But anyway, so you're going to be looking at this beautiful face today, and I've decided to do a old classic review, or a blast from the past as I call it. So let's take a look at Night of Champions 2013. Kofi Kingston was on the cover of this pay-per-view, and they were in Detroit, Michigan. So they had a pre-show match that was a tag team turmoil to determine the number one contenders for the tag team titles. The primetime players would ultimately win that. They would ultimately win it by defeating the following teams: 3MB, Heath Slater, and Drew McIntyre. Wow. Man, who remembers those days when Drew McIntyre was a jobber in 3MB? Brodus Clay and Tenzai, the Real Americans, and the Usos. So the primetime players, Darren Young and Titus O'Neil, would defeat the Real Americans, being Swagger and Cesaro. So the opening match was the poster boy himself, Kofi Kingston versus Curtis Axel, the reigning champion. Curtis Axel with Paul Heyman. Do you guys remember this time when they were trying to push Curtis Axel as a serious, serious mid-carder? Like, I remember when he debuted, they tried to build him up as this serious mid-carder, the future of WWE. And I think they had him win the Intercontinental Championship, like, really quickly in a span of a few months. And I think I remember that he also wrestled Triple H on, like, 2 occasions. Like, they were really trying to build this kid up. They were really trying to build Curtis Axel up during this time period. So he's the Intercontinental Champion, and he's defending against Kofi Kingston. He's the guy that's on the poster. So surely he would end up winning the match, right? Nope. The guy who's literally on the poster takes the big fat L. Why was he even on the poster? Why was Kofi even on the poster? I don't think he was the champion, because obviously the champion thing is next to Curtis Axel. But yeah, like, it was so weird. It was so weird. But yeah, it was very, very weird. And this won't be the first time and this won't be the last time we'll be seeing Curtis Axel as well. Oh, I actually now remember this pay-per-view now. now that I remember. So Curtis Axel retains his Intercontinental title. It won't be the last time we'll see him. AJ Lee defends her Divas Championship against Brie Bella, Naomi, and Natalya in a fatal 4-way. The suckish thing is that this match only lasted 5 minutes. This was a fatal 4-way, and this was only 5 minutes. And this is why I was shocked. This is why seeing AJ in modern day wrestling, it's just going to be weird seeing her wrestle over 15 minutes. Even over 10 minutes. Seeing her wrestle for nearly 30 minutes at WrestlePalooza and then going back and watching her old stuff, it's a big, massive change. It's a huge, massive change to where we were back then to where we are now. So AJ would retain in 5 minutes via submission. I can't remember who she submitted. I think it was Naomi. Because I remember AJ would go on to feud with the Bellas for a couple of months. And Brie Bella would get 2 more title matches. Like, freaking Brie Bella got 3 title opportunities during this time period. Night of Champions. She then got another shot at Battleground. And then she got another one at Hell in a Cell, I think. Like, AJ literally wrestled her 3 times. And this was during the time period where they were trying to say Nikki Bella was being overshadowed by Brie. This was during the time when they were saying Nikki Bella was being overshadowed by Nikki being overshadowed by Brie. And then after that, everything goes in reverse. It's then Nikki Bella who's getting all the credit, and Brie Bella's now the one getting overshadowed, which is actually quite hilarious. So yeah, AJ would win here. Really nothing to really say. Oh boy, oh great. Who remembers this little rivalry? Rob Van Dam takes on Alberto Del Dipshit for the World Heavyweight Championship. Who remembers this crappy rivalry where Rob Van Dam came back at the Royal Rumble and then Alberto would dump his personal ring announcer and then he becomes a Rob Van Dam fan and all that. This was so stupid. This was just really stupid. Anything involving Alberto Del Rio, I'm usually not a fan of, and that's not me being biased. I usually do not like anything involving Alberto, and it's not just me being oh my god, he's an Alberto hater. I literally just did not care about Alberto. Literally just never cared about this dude. Even during his babyface run, he just was not great. It was really dumb to make him to make him a babyface, if I'm being honest. Turning Alberto babyface is exactly the same thing as turning The Miz babyface. It's just something you should just never do. So Rob Van Dam would win by disqualification. Yep, poor old Rob doesn't even win the World Heavyweight title. The Miz takes on Fandango with Summer Rae. Summer Rae was very underrated. I always thought Summer Rae was underrated. I always thought she was one of those girls that kind of deserved to be Divas champion. You know, I thought she was actually a solid wrestler. It's quite of a shame that Summer Rae was always treated as a jobber talent for every wrestler on the roster. Like, I can't even remember any times that she actually won. Like, it was rare. It was rare to ever see Summer Rae win a match. But during this period, she was not a wrestler. She was just Fandango's manager. The Miz would ultimately defeat Fandango. Man, this man went from beating Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, I think it was this year. I think it was this very year. I think it was that very year, 2013, he beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, and he's losing to The Miz. And this was during The Miz's time as a babyface. This was during first time ever Miz babyface. Curtis Axel, see, I told you we would see him again. And alongside Paul Heyman, in a no disqualification handicap match, he takes on CM Punk. Yes, this was during the time where CM Punk was having this bizarre feud with Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman betrayed him at Money in the Bank 2013. Can't remember if I ever talked about that show. Maybe I will. Maybe I will in the future if I haven't. But yeah, Paul would betray CM Punk, and then CM Punk would make a vow to beat the crap out of Paul Heyman, and this handicap match was under elimination rules. Yeah, it was under elimination rules. So basically, CM Punk would eliminate Curtis Axel, and then he'd have Paul Heyman all to himself. And that's what happened. CM Punk would eliminate Curtis Axel from the match, and yeah, you can see where I'm going with this. Can't you tell? You can see where I'm going with this. Basically, CM Punk would still ultimately lose. How in the world does he lose? Some of you may be wondering who've never watched this pay-per-view. Well, by another one of everybody's favorite wrestler on Twitter, Ryback. Yes, this was during the period where Ryback, who was doing his heel, I'm a bully heel, even though he was like one of the most over baby faces during the time, he's now, he basically comes in and helps Paul Heyman defeat CM Punk. And he was also handcuffed because CM Punk put him in handcuffs. Man, what a tough time! What a tough time period to be a CM Punk fan. What a tough time period to be a CM Punk fan. His future wife is currently Divas Champion, and he's the one looking up at the lights and losing to a non-wrestler / manager in Paul Heyman. Man, what a shitty time to be a CM Punk fan. This was like really close to the time period where he was ready to get the hell out. This was during the time when he was like, I'm done. This was like during the period when he was getting ready to leave. So, yeah. Dean Ambrose would defend his United States title against Dolph Ziggler. This was like one of the rarest times Dean Ambrose defended the United States title. Like, he had one of the longest reigns in the company's history, but he rarely ever defended it. And this is still, like, this is 2013. When we still have this issue in 2025. We still have this problem and issue in 2025 where champions have long title reigns and they barely ever defend. I don't understand why it's so difficult for the company to have a long reign and have that said champion actually defend their title to really show their dominance. It's insane to me how, like, a wrestler could defend the title like once or twice or 3 times, and then after that, they would just have this really lengthy reign, and then people are just like, whoa, holy shit, he's been champion for that long, and how many times has he defended it? So yeah, like, Dean Ambrose was basically the originator of this whole have a long title reign with small amount of title defenses. But again, it was not his fault. Vince McMahon, just couldn't find any challenges for him. And this was during the time period where he was making the Shield look like a real dominant faction. So, yeah. So Ambrose would retain by pinfall by doing the dirty deeds, the original one, not the DDT one. It's where he grabbed them by the head and then he just drops them head down. I think that was the original dirty deeds. So he won with that. I don't think he started doing the double arm DDT version until he broke out of the Shield. Speaking of the Shield, Rollins and Reigns defend the tag team titles against the Primetime Players. I forgot we'd see them again because they won on the pre-show. So Rollins and Reigns would go on to defeat the Primetime Players. Really no surprise there. And they would retain the tag team titles. It's actually kind of funny that this right here was the only time Roman Reigns was ever a tag team champion. Rollins would go on to win the tag team titles with different variety of partners, from Jason Jordan to Braun Strowman to Buddy Murphy. I almost forgot a few. Buddy Murphy and Dean Ambrose. He would win the tag team titles with Dean Ambrose, I think twice. Like, he would just go on to win the tag team titles. Like, Seth would win the tag team titles more times than any other member of the Shield. Ambrose obviously never got the tag titles because he never paired up with anyone. And Roman, after this title reign was done, he just never got another reign with the titles. I'm not trying to say more reigns is better, but I'm just saying this was the only time he was tag team champion. And then the main event was Randy Orton defending the WWE Championship against Daniel Bryan. This was during the whole period where Yeah, this was during the period when Daniel Bryan got screwed out of SummerSlam, where he won the title from John Cena, and then Randy would come in, cash in his briefcase, and then all that, and then all that other stuff. So yeah, this was during that period where they were trying to build up Daniel Bryan. And again, Triple H was constantly on TV during this time. Triple H was an on-screen authority figure at this time, by the way. Now, yes, Vince was still running the company. He was still in charge, making all the decisions. But Triple H was the on-screen authority figure. Remember the Authority? Remember this time period, the Authority? Wow, how people hated this time period. Wow, how people hated this time period. How the Authority was one of the... I don't know about you. Like, the John Laurinaitis era was shit and really, really bad. But then you get the Authority. What was worse to you? Would you rather relive the Authority era, or would you rather revisit the People Power era? If you had to pick one and rewatch it all from start to finish, which one would you choose? But man, the Authority stuff was really shit. And now here we are today. And this wasn't the first time Triple H was running the shots on television. On television storyline wise. The McMahon-Helmsley era during the 90s and 2000s, when Triple H was doing the whole McMahon-Helmsley era with he and Stephanie. And now here they are again, basically doing the exact same thing again, but this time with the Authority. You know, Randy Orton and Kane and Big Show and all those other guys. Remember all that? I don't think you guys want to remember it, but I just reminded you all. But yeah, that was what this time period was. And I think that was probably why they were pushing Brie really hard during this time period, because Daniel Bryan was on the rise. And also, I just realized that they showed the aftermath. They have the aftermath written here, and they basically said that, it basically confirmed what I said before, that Brie Bella pinned AJ Lee in a match, which was a 10 woman tag, and it led to a match at Battleground. So basically, yeah, I was correct. So yeah, like I said, AJ kept feuding with Brie. And then I think Brie would get another shot at Hell in a Cell. Like I said. But anyway, getting distracted. So Randy Orton would lose this match because Scott Armstrong, the referee Scott Armstrong would do a fast count. He would do a fast count to help Daniel Bryan win the WWE Championship. And then Triple H would then take the championship from Daniel Bryan. He would strip him of the title. Yeah, so basically he would take the title off Bryan, and then Bryan and Orton would have a rematch with the title being vacated inside Hell in a Cell, if I remember right. So that's basically how this match ended. Randy Orton lost the title due to Scott Armstrong. And I think it ended up getting revealed later that Scott Armstrong was Triple H's stooge referee. Basically the stooge referee. He basically became the Nick Patrick. Remember Nick Patrick, that referee? He became the Nick Patrick of modern wrestling, and all that. So, yeah, Bryan and Orton. You know, Bryan and Orton always have great matches. That's the thing. They always have great matches. I think they always get really good. I think they have really good matches. I really do enjoy watching them wrestle. But I was actually really bummed when Randy Orton lost the title already. I was like, oh man, already? And I'm like, this is typical. Like, Randy Orton usually gets short reigns. Like, whenever Randy is the WWE champion, I don't think he's ever had a long reign. I think all of his reigns are usually short. Sometimes they're a little lengthy, but not to the levels of 200 days or something like that. He always gets like those really short reigns. Like, he's won the title like, 14 times, and he's like, had short reigns all the time. Like, he's always had those short-lived championship reigns. So yeah, that is the end of this Blast from the Past review, Night of Champions 2013. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see more Blast from the Past reviews of past pay-per-views, let me know. Because actually, I do kind of enjoy looking back at these. But thank you all for watching, and I'll hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.